the leaves are starting to fall, the trees are going to bear. I said, I think this is autumn. I think it's my favorite season. I said, what season do you like? And she said to me, I like the 4 seasons in Whistler. That's what's coming up in the next generation, folks. It's all ready to go. But we're going to get the show started. We're going to bring up your first comic for the evening. Welcome to the stage. Who do we got? I have to look at the list. Maggie Conway! All right, ladies and gentlemen, how are we feeling? All right, so this is going to start weird and it's going to get weirder. Okay? This is one of those sets where you're going to wonder if I have a therapist, and let me assure you, she is about to quit. So something that I really struggle with in my life is having hot friends. My friends are so much better looking than I am that, at first, yes, obviously I assumed I was being bullied. I assumed I was being bullied, or at the very least that my parents were paying them. But decades have gone by, and I just continue to amass hot girls. And truthfully, you guys, I have no idea what they see in me, okay? I know this is the time in my set where there's always one drunk girl who's like, you're beautiful on the inside. Wrong. Guys, my personality is not good enough to look like this. People think on account of the comedy that I'm the group's personality hire, but that requires a good personality. I don't have a good personality. I have a collection of mental illnesses I'm trying to pass as a personality. But my friends, they're not just hot, they're pleasant to be around. And the worst part is, they're funny. Okay? I have no interest in being hot, alright? I am on pills that make me fat and unable to come. What's the motivation? You think I'm gonna work out twice as hard to get hot just to not feel the sex once I do? Pass, not interested. But funny is the only thing I bring to the table, and I'm not even the funniest one at brunch. So to that I say, stay in your lane, hot girls. I might be a living, breathing before picture, but by God, you leave your punchlines to me. My friends are so much prettier than I am that people regularly assume that we're not together. The other day I went to a diner with my friend Jay, who is so beautiful that the staff did not clock that I was there. Yeah, and I get it, I'd fuck her too. But that's just bad business, you guys, because I think we can all tell who's about to order a side salad and who's about to pay for your vacation. Once upon a time I had a true friend who I could be my worst dirtbag self with. And we'd smoke weed and we'd watch bad movies until she betrayed me. She turned her back on everything that I stand for, and she became a spin instructor. A spin instructor, you guys? That's the final boss of hot girls. I would genuinely rather be friends with a serial killer. This is eating me alive psychologically, okay? Like, what do they see in me? Are you harvesting me for my organs? Am I gonna get human trafficked? Or do you bitches just genuinely need a ride to the airport? My friends are so pretty, they're like, the Little Mermaid and her like beautiful mermaid sisters. My vibe is a little more Ursula the Sea Witch. I would describe myself as approachably evil, okay? I'm judgmental, I'm condescending, and I'm smart enough that when I insult you, you'll learn a new word. Years ago, when I was in grade school, I had this one teacher who was like begging me to stop being a bad influence on my friends, and he just goes, they're good kids, Maggie. They're good kids. But you just see them as kindling, and you are the lighter fluid and match. I was 12. And according to that guy, weapons grade crazy. But you know what? I am what I am, and frankly, I come in handy, okay? Because every group needs at least one person who is willing to speak to the manager. Another thing that I think I bring to a friendship is just an unwavering commitment to talk shit. I don't gossip, okay? Gossip is too passive-aggressive. I want aggressive-aggressive. I want to be a conduit for the most deep-seated rage you've ever known. Are you mad at your boss, your boyfriend, your best friend? Did the server at Timmy's give you attitude 6 days ago and you're still salty about it? People, there is no grievance too small to be absolutely blown out of proportion. And like, hatred brings people together, you know? And really what I'm asking is to let me be your Donald Trump. Let me get you so riled up that you try and take away somebody's human rights. My best friend years ago, Rob, apropos of nothing, one day just looks at me and goes, I think you'd win Survivor. No, not Survivor. I think you'd win Lord of the Flies. Yeah, everyone remember high school English? For anybody that skipped that class, Lord of the Flies is a story about a group of shipwrecked boys who kill each other when their civilization collapses. So I had to ask, Rob, does anyone win Lord of the Flies? And he just looks at me and goes, you would. But you know what, he was on to something, okay? I do not play well with others. I am the boss, always. Do you remember in high school how you had to take those like career aptitude tests? My result was always some variation of cult leader. Yeah, it was like politician, religious leader, head of a pyramid scheme. But you know, we're facing climate catastrophe and we're kind of staring down the barrel of societal collapse. So me and my burnout friends do have genuine conversations about what we would do in a doomsday scenario. So what would I do in the apocalypse? I'd win. Now I'm not a hazard, okay? I just feel very ready for the end times. I think if I could hide for the first week after a catastrophe and sort of let the dust settle, then I would emerge as a very compelling warlord. I don't have a skill set per se, but I do have bloodlust. You know? I wasn't made to return emails. I was made to be a Viking shield maiden, at least. I'm a simple girl, just give me an axe and something to pillage. So, you know, no, maybe I'm not as pretty as my girlfriends, but in the apocalypse, I am the only thing preventing them from becoming handmaids. So do I need to mellow out? Absolutely, you guys. And I wish I could drink, but when I drink, I become my alter ego, fat Conor McGregor. Yeah, I am chucking chairs and fighting bouncers, I assure you. So instead, I smoke a lot of weed. Yeah. And I think truly, I think lady stoners deserve some more representation. They gave us Broad City, and then it's been crickets. Okay, like I was pothead before I'm a girl, all right? I buy my perfume based on how well it's gonna hide my dank, and I do my makeup to complement bloodshot eyes, you know? Where's my magazine article? Sidebar, once years ago I was trying to like save a roach, and I lit my own eyelashes on fire. I wasn't brave enough to try eyelash extensions, so this past summer, you wanna know what happened? I started one of them wildfires. That's a joke. No, at this point, I know that my munchies will prevent a beach body from ever happening, and I've made my peace with that. Because frankly, I'm more concerned with the scale on the coffee table than the one in the bathroom, if you feel me. For years, I would have been more upset to find a new dealer than a new boyfriend. And at this point, I am more attached to my bong than my vibrator. And that's pretty attached. No, you know, I do make jokes about dealers and dispensaries, but my PSA to you good people, the only place that you should be buying your weed is on the res. Okay, now hear me out. I don't want my drugs courtesy of some pencil-pushing bureaucrat, okay? I want my drugs courtesy of somebody who hates the government. You guys know who hates the government more than the rest of us put together? Yeah, that would be our Indigenous brothers and sisters. If there's one group of people who don't give a fuck what the Canadian government says they can or cannot do, it is the ancestral caretakers of this unceded territory. So add that to your land acknowledgement, bitch. Listen, you don't have to, you know, shave your head and pierce your septum to be an ally, all right? You just need to support small business. Now, this is a tradition in my family spanning generations, okay? So my family's Irish, which means we had to escape British colonization and they were starved out of their homes. So they escaped to Canada, where the same British colonists gave them the only land in this country you can't log, mine, or farm, and said, try not to starve this time. And I like to imagine the moment my ancestors found out they crossed an ocean just to get hosed one more time by the Brits. Why, Siobhan? The lads were saying to their land first. Listen, lads, this one's on us. We'll buy your cigarettes till we make it right. And 175 years later, here we all are. People get weird about reconciliation. I say don't overthink it, you know? Just throw money at these communities until anyone has a better idea. Right? I'm a progressive, okay? My politics are, I'm mad and I don't understand how budgeting works. So next time you're ready to drop a couple bucks at the dispensary, consider, would you rather your money go to a community center with potable drinking water, or the douche who owns the dispensary, whose name is probably Trent? Okay? Trent has white boy dreads and wears flip-flops year-round. Fuck Trent. You know what? In all seriousness, I probably did fuck Trent. Probably in college and probably for weed. I'm Maggie Comic. I think
that was comic number 1, Maggie Conway. Coming to the stage next, welcome Liliana Anthony.
People assume because I can do the splits, I am flexible. I'm a teenager. Good luck to anyone who tries to bend my will. Especially my mother. One of my mom's greatest hobbies is to embarrass me. Last time we were at Science World, she hugged the big electric static ball and announced to everybody, the electricity made my pubes go straight. It wouldn't have been that embarrassing if it wasn't my class field trip. One of my dad's greatest parenting strategies is to use my own anxiety against me. He says, behave like that and you'll end up exactly like your mother. Great. Thanks for spoiling the ending. I'm really embarrassed to admit, recently I just found out Peniton is a diaper rash cream. I've been using butt cream to moisturize my hands for years. It works pretty well, but the only thing that's chafed here is my ego. I love the show Wednesday. It's a new take on the Addams Family that caters to a Gen Z audience. I wonder if Cousin It will get with the times and go full Brazilian. Then when it goes in, he'll be known as Cousin Itch. This face I'm making right here isn't stage fright. It's life fright. incredibly anxious, I figure it's good to pray. It's either God or Xanax. My grandma also says it's so good to pray because she tells me apparently I got a case of the demons. You know what's fucking amazing? All women are born with all of their eggs. And I know I'm one neurotic bird. But what I really didn't know was I'm a walking nest. What? I'm only 17, and I recently learned about what income taxes are. And let me tell you something. I'm already furious. I'm old enough to know that I have to pay these for the rest of my goddamn life, but too young to order a stiff drink to escape it. I'm so glad gratitude journals exist. Because that really shows I'm not the only ungrateful one here. The opposite of a gratitude journal is just a journal. Instead of writing down what you're incredibly thankful for, you're just bitching. I hate spelling with a capital T. It's a good thing you don't have spell check, or you would know I'm a writer who can't write. I hate public bathrooms. I figure they're a shitty place. Every time I'm in one, it feels like a giant germ casino. And I'm battling against my own sanity. The house always wins. But you know what I do love about public bathrooms? The custodians! The other day, I saw one of them pushing around their cute yellow carts, and I saw a scraper. What are they scraping? That's not cleaning, that's construction. I have a question for everyone here. Do you guys clean your toilet bowl brush? And if so, what do you clean it with? A toilet bowl brush? Where does the cycle end? A toilet bowl brush? Do you ever go to the gym and you start your first set of squats and that's when you realize the Metamucil reversal just kicked in? Who knew holding in a big shit could give you perfect form? I guess fiber doubles as a personal trainer for your ass and your asshole. I hate the expression, I can't live without you. Because, like, I'm totally okay with that. My mother does not want me to start drinking coffee yet. But I do, simply so I can use the excuse, don't talk to me until I've had my first cup. Then I won't drink my first cup till 3 p.m. Don't worry, Mom. I don't need coffee, because the very fact I'm slowly turning into you already keeps me awake all night. I'm proudly Canadian, but our schools... But our school systems stop teaching cursive. The only handwriting Gen Zs know how to read is the Tim Hortons sign. Thank you, New West. You were a fantastic audience. It's such a privilege to meet all these foggy, awesome women.
Give it up for Liliana Anthony. Coming to the stage, welcome your next comic, Trinity Sun.
Yes, I'm one of the diversity votes. You have to be funny. I'm just here to make the competition. What's the word you Canadians use? Inclusive. The other day, white guy said konnichiwa to me. Not sure. Wow. Not sure why he thought I was Japanese. Maybe I had seaweed stuck in my teeth when I said hello. Or maybe I reminded him of Pikachu because I'm yellow. I'm actually Chinese, the friendly type you see in your neighborhood who doesn't talk much, but gives you fresh veggies from their garden. The difference is, my dogs pee on these veggies. You're welcome. Your salad is organic and pre-dressed. It's hard being a Chinese woman who drives. People assume I suck by just looking at my face. But I think all drivers suck, especially those who cut you off without signaling. They inch closer and closer, ignore all signs, avoid eye contact, and eventually just shove themselves in. Then when you call them out, they lean back like your horny ex and go, relax. I know you wouldn't mind a quickie. If you didn't want it, why would you leave a big gap in between? But sometimes you just have to open wide to let people in for your own safety. I'm talking about driving. So when I the other day I was on the highway. It's early morning, roads were empty. So I started cruising next to this grandpa in a sports car going under 90. Out of nowhere, this lady with a kayak on top of her car showed up at sonic speed, tailgating us. Of course, no one noticed. I was barely awake. Grandpa was barely alive. Finally, I came back to life first, made the room for her after she had already been stuck behind us for 20 minutes. As she drove past, she gave me the finger, which I probably deserved, and also screamed, "Fuck you! Fuck you!" Well, that does feel good. I muted it. Of course, fuck me, right? In that type of situation, if I were her, I would be yelling at a sleepy Chinese lady. Two, definitely not the rich white grandpa. Yeah, that's a grandma. Okay, rich white grandpa. Anyway, where am I? Well, I don't get her though. Why in such a rush for kayaking at 7 a.m.? Isn't it supposed to be a calming, relaxing activity? What's the line? I forget. This is new, by the way. She's from it last night. So is it supposed to be a relaxing, calming activity? Yet here she is, losing her mind on highway, like the lake is just about to start boiling. Anyway, speed just gets people these days. I was driving. I drive a lot. I have a class 5 license, so I know what I'm doing. I was driving past this playground zone the other day, maybe going a little fast. At the red light, this guy pulled up, furious, started yelling at me. "What the fuck were you doing? It's a fucking playground zone. You were going 60. But I don't know if I was really going 60, but I know he didn't slow down either. Because he caught up under 2 seconds. Same distance, almost same arrival time. What's his speed? I may not be the best driver, but I'm pretty good at high school math. I let him rage. Figured he had a rough day as a white man. And then when the light turned, I said, "Alright, goodbye," and started rolling up my window. Pissed him off even more. He looked me dead in the eyes and screamed, "You're gonna kill my kids." Wow, the way he said it, I don't think he was mad at me. I feel like he just hates his kids so much and doesn't want me to take care of it. My entire existence just brings out people's urge to swear. I may not be the type that everybody wants to fuck, but I'm definitely the type who makes people scream fuck. Speaking of kids, a lot of my friends back in China started having babies last year because it was the year of dragon. A few of them didn't time it right, so the babies end up being snakes. It sounds lame, but those babies don't care. When they get adopted by their American parents, you get the love they deserve. I'm not ready for babies yet. Apparently I have to kill a few first. But when I want twins. I love having a spare, but my body's not strong enough to go through pregnancy twice. So ideally it's like buying maple syrup thick cut bacon at Costco It only comes in a pack of 2. And just so you know, non-Canadian flavor is triplets. Every time I tell people I want twins, those older, wiser, overly friendly women jump in. Like, oh no, honey, you don't want twins. Well, I'm talking about having 2 babies at once, not launching 2 nukes from my uterus. Why are they so worried? Sure, my milk jugs are small, but I'm only feeding 2, maybe 2.5, if my husband occasionally wants a sip. They act like twins will ruin my life. So I tell them, don't worry, I have a husband, he will help me. And they go, no, he won't. Why, it sounds like we've all had twins with my husband. But it's not so bad, because I was kind of worried about the quality of his sperm. They say babies are made of rubber. I think they're made of Play-Doh. They're so soft, you can shape their heads to whatever you want. Back when I was born, there's a trend in China to flatten babies' heads. Not sure who the fuck thought that would be cute. But my mom followed it. She didn't know she had to rotisserie me like a chicken in my sleep. So I was cooked like a pan-fried dumpling in an authentic Chinese way. I end up with this spewing plate in the back of my head. When I go to massage therapy, my RMT could rest her water there and it won't spill. I used to get self-conscious showing people the back of my head because back in high school, kids used to ask me if I got hit by a shovel. No, that's child abuse. My mom just preferred firm pillow. And that's child abuse without violence involved. I've made peace with it now. I joke about it all the time like it's not even mine. So the back of my head is intentionally engineered. It drops like by my mom, who's not even an engineer. It drops like a cliff. So when you pour water on top, poof, man-made waterfall. So imagine if I were a giant, I could just have let that angry lady kayak from the top of my head on my neck. I don't think I'm exaggerating, but I'm not. If you don't believe in me, come find me after the show and I'll let you touch me just a little bit. Thank you.
Give it up for Trinity's son. Coming to the stage next, welcome Jackie Amsden.
Yeah, super exciting to perform tonight with Trinity, the baby I adopted from China. She's so big now. Oh, you guys, what a week this has been, right? What a crazy week. We learned so many things this week. We learned Trump thinks Tylenol causes autism, right? We learned Trump thinks that Jimmy Kimmel causes misinformation, right? And I'm pretty sure if Trump was here, he'd be thinking that putting 8 women on a stage for a contest that doesn't even involve a swimsuit round is definitely gonna cause the rapture. What I'm saying, you guys, is that we're definitely all going to hell after this show. Fortunately for that table in the back, it won't be that different. Is that from Surrey? Woo! Yeah! It's always fun to shit on Surrey. Surrey, okay. We got some, okay, let's make some noise for the parents in the audience tonight. Yeah. Okay. make some noise for the child-free people. Fuck you and your smugness. I'm a mom. I've got 2 kids. I gotta say, got some moms. Let's hear just for the moms. You're a mom. You're Liliana's mom. I feel like her describing cleaning supplies definitely made me realize that she should talk to my son because he knows even less. Is that your dynamic at home? Yeah. Was that like real life stuff? Oh yeah. She's not fucking around, you guys. I do have 2 kids. It's hard becoming a mom, right? Your body changes in ways that no one prepares you for, right? Right? Oh yeah. Yeah? Where's one way that your body changed? Let's get into it.
Wider.
What, wider? Wider. Okay, wider, nice. And since you're your partner, did you also get wider? Sympathy weight? Fuck you and your sympathy weight, guys. If you want sympathy pain, we'll stab you in the stomach, then you can gain 10 pounds. No, I have to say, for me, the weirdest part of becoming a mom for me was like, my boobs changed, right? Like getting my boobs back after breastfeeding was like watching a reboot of this Two Old Men and the Muppets. Like it was comforting, but the one on the left was a lot more withered than I remember. And I think the hardest part about nursing is reintegrating your boobs back into sex afterwards, right? That's confusing, you know? Like the first time my husband and I tried, I'm looking down at my nipple in his mouth thinking, oh man, that is not a good lash. He's getting it so gassy. And what is Trinity's husband doing here? I was telling that to a friend of mine, and she said, Jackie, when I was pregnant, milk would squirt out of my nipples during sex. And I was like, what? I did not know we could get facials. What I really want to see, though, you guys, what I really want to see, Liliana, close your ears, is a porn movie with the bukkake scene, you know? Where a bunch of guys come on a lady's face at the same time, but like, the breast milk version, right? So instead of a naked woman in the middle of the room getting humiliated, they're getting nourished. And treated for pink eye. My kids are older though. My son's 15. He recently started grade 9. Yeah. Third time's the charm. He's taller than me though, you guys. He's like so tall. Which sucks, you know? We can't play our favorite little game anymore, you know? I used to be like, try to get it. With his medication. I don't know, teenagers are off the... Teenagers are judgy, okay? I was walking home with him and my daughter the other day, she's 9. She called me a bitch, so I was like, takes one to no one. My son's like, that's it? You're not gonna discipline her? And I was like, listen, dude, I'm an adult in this situation, okay? I will come up with an appropriate consequence when the time is right. And he's like, well, it's up to me. I will cancel a birthday party tomorrow. And I was like, it's her birthday party tomorrow? I don't know, teenagers. Boys are different though, okay? It's not just teenagers. Boys are different. I grew up with all girls. Like, you guys do things differently. Like, you know how growing up everyone had a puke bowl, right? Right? Well, I found out recently in our house we have a pee towel. Yeah. Which is what my son uses to regularly mop up puddles of urine off the floor. Yeah. You guys think that's gross? I found out about the existence of the pee towel while I was using it to wash my face. Yeah. So I was like, why do we have a pee towel? And he's like, because when I get up to pee in the middle of the night, I don't want to turn on the light because it'll wake me up. So I just listen for the sound. Yeah. And I have learned since sharing this story that many men do this. Many men pee at night by echolocation. scientific term for mainly on the floor. It's fine though, you guys. Like, I'm an adult, right? So I came up with a solution. I bought some towels, the same color as my hair, and I told my son, you're not to use these towels. You're not to use these towels, period. These are my towels. Actually, no, that came out wrong. I said, you're not to use my period towels. I don't know. Little girls are hard too. My daughter's 9. She came home the other day, she was crying because someone called her fat at school. Yeah. And I was like, shit, I thought we're beyond this, It's, it's 2025, But then I realized the problem isn't these little girls. The problem is the patriarchy. Yeah. Hasn't approved pediatric Ozempic. Oh, come on, you guys. That's what the world needs right now. Little Ozempic babies flexing on Instagram. How they're back to their birth weight. Just feels so good to be back in these preemie diapers again. I don't know. My kids definitely need counseling. How many men go to counseling? Make some noise for the men go to counseling. Because that's my husband. Marriage counseling doesn't count. Right there. No, it's crazy though how resistant so many men are to counseling, you guys, right? Like, most men would rather have a colonoscopy than go to therapy, right? Right? Like, if their doctor was like, okay, John, we need to figure out what's going on inside of you, either we can insert this 6-foot-long camera into your rectum, or we can talk about your feelings. 9 out of 10 men would be like, I'll take the butt hose. It's not your fault, though. I think the term counseling is too wishy-washy, Like, if we want men to take counseling seriously, you guys, we need to give it like a rebrand, And like an official sports drink, So, hear me out. Instead of counseling, we call it high performance mood rehab sport fit. Brought to you by Clitorade. Gulp down some pussy so you stop acting like one. No, I get it. Though, honestly, I've been having trouble with counseling myself recently. I went there and my counselor was like, Jackie, you need to start talking about when things your husband do that you don't like. And I was like, shit, lady, are you kidding me? I've been through 2 vaginal deliveries, okay? I pee after swimming and my farts just leak out. The only thing I can still hold in is my resentment. I will say though, I think the hardest part about being in your 40s is now's the time when I want to be more sexually adventurous, But it's very hard to take risks in the bedroom when you're afraid of your kids walking in on you, right? Right? Yeah. Oh my God, Liliana's mom just nodded hello. I love how weird it's going to be for you guys in the car after this. It did happen, my son walked in on us the other day, and of course, instead of just leaving, he just stands there and he's like, Mom, what is that? And I'm like, dude, get out of here. Our sex toys are not even your business. And he's like, no, Mom, I'm not talking about a butt plug. I mean, why does your left boob look like a little Muppet?
Coming to the stage next, welcome Rosie Grypma.
Oh, hi. Good to see you guys. Nice to be here and such, etc. You guys look good. Or like my dad would say, disgusting. Yeah. I'm 40. I learned the most embarrassing thing about being a 40-year-old woman is when you're tubing on the back of a boat, you get thrown into the water, and then you have to get back up and you resemble a geriatric seal. Go lumping back on to the tube. Your kids, it's like National Geographic as the mother tries to mount the tube. Pulling with all of her strength, trying not to defecate. Really reconsidering the ratio of gin to tonic at breakfast. all the adults on the boat, it's like, Girls Gone Wild 2025. Where are they now? Still having fun. Well, your husband who's driving the boat is looking at you like, God, I love my wife. She'd be worth a lot more to me dead. No, I got a surplus of antifreeze at home right now. Turns out he doesn't like sweet drinks, so back to the drawing board. Yeah, I'm 40 and people sometimes ask me, like, what's the difference between women in their 20s and women in their 40s? I'm like, well, when I was 20, I used to run through the park at night with a whistle. Now I run through the park at night naked and I whistle. I used to have tits, now I have teats. If I was gonna date again, I'd probably date a boxer because I got 2 little speed bags right here. I'd never date a virgin, I couldn't. They try to make love with you with those, beautiful big eyes, and at my age, I gotta be hit to feel something. Yeah. My girlfriend Mandy, for my 40th birthday, got me a vibrator. Give it up for the ladies. Yeah, she got me a vibrator. I was like, great, I'm almost already a lesbian. Now I have to think I'm Mandy every time I masturbate. My husband's always like, stop trying to scissor me. It won't work. It won't work. I'm like, it will if you line the holes up. Idiot. No, I'm not depressed. I'm a mom. When my kids come to me and they're like, Mommy, why are you crying? Why are you crying? Like a good mom, I lie. I'm like, oh, these are tears of joy. But if you were to look at the molecules under a microscope, they'd probably look a lot more like anxiety, rage, and Merlot. But I'm not an alcoholic. I'm a mom. With enough self-awareness to know that if all that's left in the liquor cabinet is Jack Daniels, then, well, somebody's putting Mommy to bed. And it ain't gonna be fun, because she's gonna go down swinging. Yeah. Any winkers out there tonight? Any winkers? Yep. Yeah, thank you. When did winking lose its cool, am I right? I used to wink all the time. You'd see that guy, Ron, trying to get your attention as you're, walking on the job site carrying a bunch of baseboards, so you look at him and you give him one of these, as if to say, I'm so sorry, Ron, I don't have time right now, but maybe we could meet at lunch or coffee to discuss whatever you have to discuss. Or when you see that guy on the dance floor and he's just creaming it, so you give him one of these, as if to say, dancing is your gift. Don't squander it. Or when you see your lover and he's looking real good, so you give him one of these, as if to say, fruit stand is open. The only problem is, it's hard to differentiate between a cordial wink, an encouraging wink, and a dink wink. So I'm going to sing a song for you about my life's journey winking. Is that okay? Yeah. Get out of here. All right. Here's a wink for you. Cause I don't have time to say hello, but here's a wink for you, cause you're doing a good job and I know. And here's a wink for you, to come on over here, daddy-o, cause I wanna make sweet, sweet love to you. Just kidding, I'm married, so. But here's a wink for me. You couldn't see it cause I did it in my pants, but you better believe it means all of myself. And I'm doing the best in order to strengthen the walls of my vagine. Oh, some people call it a kegel, but I like to call it a wink. A wink in my pants can change the velocity and the deterioration of my breasts. And I know when I was a young girl, I wore diapers, I know. But I have a dream that when I'm an old lady, I don't. But if I do, it won't be for lack of trying. If I do, it won't be because every time I wink for you, I wink for me. The first time I sang that song for my mom, she said, ooh, I think our family might be a little more purebred than I initially thought. which basically means I'm like a standard poodle. Smart, beautiful, but prone to hip dysplasia. But I am 100% Dutch, and if you ain't Dutch, you ain't much. But it'd be cool if my parents weren't cousins. Everybody told them, don't do it, but wooden head, wooden shoes, wouldn't listen. It's just a miracle my eyes aren't closer together, or is it further apart? I can't ever remember, but I'm not bragging or anything. I've been told that not only am I the kind of cousin you'd like to take to a penetration station, I'm the cousin you'd like to marry. Oh my God, did Rosie marry your cousin? No, I didn't. I fucked him. So I've been called a lowbrow comedian. Which I guess means I should start considering Botox, but I guess I'm just a little dumb and I'm not very political, but I have a lot of smart friends, like a lot of them, like with jobs that I can't spell, like psychologist. When they invite me to a dinner party, I feel like Donald Trump at the G7 summit. Discombobulated. Sometimes I do imagine Donald Trump running through a field of daisies, picking one up and going, tariffs? No tariffs. Tariffs? No tariffs. Yeah. My husband and I, we did have a couple of kids. We're not having any more. I got my tubes completely removed, so unless that sperm jumps the gap, there'll be no more happy mistakes. But my son came up to me and he goes, Mom, I'm a boy, so I have a penis. I'm like, good job. But Bebop, that's my daughter. He goes, she's got a vagina because she's a girl. And I'm glad they're teaching you something in high school. But you, Mom, oops, thought you were finished. You have a hairy vagina. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I mean, it's not like it's a rainforest down there, although sometimes it does get wet. But I mean, it's not like Debbie does Dallas 70s, Muff. Although I hear the 70s are coming back, so you can tell all your little friends that Mommy's actually don't tell your friends. But you tell your coach I trim, right? You tell your coach I trim, but it pisses me off. You know? It really upsets me. Because men have a whole month dedicated to the hair on their lips. A whole month. November. The only month of the year my husband doesn't have to beg for sex because his mouth is full. A whole month. All I want is 1 month dedicated to the hair on my lips. 1 month where I can run around saying, hairy lip rides for one, hairy lip rides for all. Right? Call it Pustober. Or maybe Muffuary. Rhymes with mortuary, because I'm gonna cremate your face. I'm gonna embalm you with my fluids. I would never. I'm married. My husband couldn't be here tonight because, well, he's embarrassed of me. His words, not mine. Anyways, give it up to all these beautiful ladies before me. And thank you guys so much.
Give it up for Rosie and Grypma. Coming to the stage next, welcome Jasbir, Uppal.
Palsy, and most comics are afraid that their jokes are going to fall flat and that no one will laugh. I am legit afraid of falling off the stage and people laughing so hard that they forget to call 911. So this trade war with the United States has a lot of people worried about annexation. Personally, I think annexation is an excellent idea. I say we start with Point Roberts and work our way down. So earlier this year, to get my mind off of the trade war, I went to the movies. It didn't work. I saw Dogman. How was I supposed to know that it was about an evil orange cat that tries to take over the world? And then, did you guys know that the US is also in a trade war with China? I wouldn't mess with China. They actually built a wall. So I graduated from UBC in the top third of my class with 2 majors, and I speak 4 languages. But because I work for the government, people assume that I'm a DEI hire. For those of you who don't know, DEI technically stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion. But to some people, it stands for don't expect intelligence. Like the folks at my first job. Did you write that all by yourself? Wow, good for you. Way to go. Good job. So you don't have to tell me how confusing government forms are. On her EI application, my aunt marked herself down as a non-status Indian. Who does she think she is? Buffy St. Marie? And my younger brother, who was born here, marked himself down as a permanent resident. I said, what'd you do that for? You're a Canadian citizen. And he said, because I don't plan on leaving. Even I messed up the census form once. Silly me, I forgot to tell them that I had a disability. The question read, do you have a physical impairment that interferes with your ability to do daily tasks such as cleaning? I stopped reading and marked no, because I have a cleaning lady. Actually, my disability is quite self-evident. Once a guy came up to me in a food court and said, I thought I was having a bad day, and then I saw you, and now I feel so much better. Why don't you just tell me if you had my life, you'd kill yourself? Which brings me to medical assistance in dying, also known as MAID. Apparently, record numbers of people with disabilities are signing up for MAID. I don't believe it for 1 second. I bet you anything, they probably think they're filling out a form for a cleaning lady. So, I lost my mother to ALS 3 years ago. And it was quick, and it caught everybody off guard. But I knew that trouble was on the horizon, because a week before she passed, we met with a speech therapist, and her name was Tatiana. In Punjabi, Tatiana literally means shit is coming. You can't make this stuff up. So I just got back from a vacation in Halifax. Yeah. No Haligonians here? Yeah. So we were originally supposed to go to Hawaii, but then we changed our minds at the last minute because we decided we want to support the Canadian economy. Elbows up. And, so Halifax was the first city that came to mind, because it also starts with an H. And so while I was in Halifax, we ate at this very popular restaurant. It's called The Bicycle Thief. The food was excellent, but I was paranoid that somebody was going to steal my wallet. At first, I was kind of offended like, really? Is this what we're doing now? We're gonna start naming restaurants after criminal activities? Like, what's next? Is someone gonna open an Indian restaurant in Surrey and call it The Extortionist? Don't worry if you can't dine in. We'll set up a drive-by. I think drive-through. Yeah, that'll give the economy a shot in the arm. So I also went to Peggy's Cove, which I found out was named after a girl named Margaret. Maybe it's just me because I'm like ESL, but like English nicknames make absolutely no sense. So how do you get Peggy from Margaret? Better yet, how do you get Dick from Richard? Can someone explain that to me? It's Richie Cunningham, not Dickie Cunningham. While we're on the topic of dicks, somebody once tried to explain circumcision to me, and I found it fascinating. And so I kept interrupting him with questions, and then I apologized for cutting him off. I am a new vegan. No boss? So I'm a new vegan, and initially my family was quite worried. They were afraid that I was going to get too skinny. It's been 2 years. So their fears were largely unfounded. So you can blame that on the Oreos. Who knew they were vegan? I didn't say I did it for health reasons. So I am I'm a bookworm, so I'm in a few book clubs. And you know, there's always this one person who only joined because she wants to look smart on Instagram. You know? And you realize that once you start discussing the book, that's when you clue in that she actually hasn't read the book, and because she's completely shocked to find out that The Hunger Games isn't a diet book. And instead of answering the book club discussion questions, she'll start posting her own questions, like, what do you think is a bigger sin, pride or prejudice? And then she'll offer up some really strange opinions, like, if you ask me, 50 Shades of Grey has so much more depth than the color purple. Speaking about color, I absolutely can't stand the Indian community's obsession with skin bleaching. I think it's racist. Okay? But nobody listens to me. They just keep telling me to lighten up. I have a confession to make. Indian men absolutely love me. Once I had 2 guys fighting over me, and you should have heard their pickup lines. Of course, they were cabbies. I'm not looking forward to taking the SkyTrain home tonight. I'm not Pierre Poilievre. Someone's not going to just give me their seat. So once on the SkyTrain, there was this girl who had her legs stretched out on a disability seat like this. I kindly asked her if she could move them so that I could sit down. And she looked at me and smiled and said, no. So then I asked her, are you trying to be difficult or do your legs hurt? And she said, my legs don't hurt. So I took this here walking stick, slashed her twice on the legs, and said, well, they hurt now. Because I can stand up for myself. I might not be able to stand up by myself, but I can stand up for myself.
Give it up for Jasbir Uppal.
very excited to be here. Some of my friends are seeing me do comedy for the first time. Between them in the dark. Yeah, my best friend's just about to throw up in the back. If you hear a dry heaving, just ignore it and maybe make some space off to the side. Do you guys have any married couples here? So exciting, okay. I was married, I'm single again after 12 years. Any single ladies in the house tonight? Enthusiasms? Yeah, don't make you feel bad about being married. That cry is more of a cry for help. Yeah, being someone that comes home and checks her matches at the end of the day and then cries into their pillow, I can totally hear the pitch, right? Like the higher the woo, the deeper the depression. No, I'm just kidding. Being single is great. Just online dating is horrible. When I first separated, I felt this really good sense of relief, and then it was immediately replaced by this deep pit in my stomach, just realizing I had to go back out on the apps. It felt like somebody just pulled my birth date in a draft, and I had no choice but to download the apps again. Yeah, you know. And like I said, I was married, right? So you think once you're there, like, I don't have to go back anymore. Like, that's the whole reason you get married. If someone looks you in the eyes, makes you this promise, and vows to you, you never have to go back out on the apps again. Right? And like, it's not fair. Like, I was in the trenches. Like, I still have PTSD from online dating just over 10 years ago. So it feels like, I don't know, it's kind of inhumane. Like, now I just feel like I've been through World War I, I get home safe. I feel like, you know, I'm good to go, and they're like, psych bitch, you're going back out for round number 2. Yeah. And I don't know if it's I'm just like getting older or if I just have repressed memories from years ago, but I just feel like online dating is so much worse than it was the first time around. Like, just to give you guys an example, the other day I matched with a guy on Hinge, and he asked me if I wanted to come over and get drunk and do coke off the toilet seat. Yeah, right? I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now? I was like, you're a grown man in your 30s, and you don't own a coffee table? Your priorities together, like, what's going on here? Yeah, so if you're in a couple or you're married and you're wondering, is there anything else out there, you know, outside of this relationship? Is there more? I'm just gonna answer it to you right now. There isn't. There's coffee table guy, there's less, not more, if anything. Yeah, so if if you're going through a rough patch in your marriage right now, I'm gonna help you guys out. I wish my counselor gave me this advice. What we're gonna do is when you get home tonight, just go make a joint account on any dating app, stay there for like under 5 minutes, and you'll be more in love with your spouse than the first day you met them. It's like being Canadian and just like looking and seeing what's happening in America right now. Right, you're like, okay, I might not love everything about Canada, but I'm like happy as hell I'm not in that mess. Yeah, I don't know. So I wish my counselor gave me advice, so I'm divorced now. It was definitely like a hard call. It was a hard thing to do. And I think it's because there's still a lot of stigma around getting divorced, especially as a woman. Like the first time I came out and told my friends, I felt like Magic Johnson coming out with AIDS in the 80s for the first time. A lot of my friends, where everyone was shocked, except obviously my close friends, they knew what was happening behind the scenes. A lot of my family, they just like pretended it didn't happen, they wouldn't talk about it in public. And then other people acted like I had stage 4 cancer, and the only cure was to find a man, so I was already past that stage. Yeah, because I get it though, like being a single woman in your 30s is a lot like having AIDS in the 80s. The odds aren't great. But like if Magic Johnson can find a cure, like maybe there's hope for me on the apps. Maybe. And before I got this jaded, I was like very hopeful in the beginning, and I was like, oh, there's like plenty of fish in the sea. And then I realized that none of the fish want to commit, and they're all just out eating ass and swimming in their polypods. Yeah, I don't know if it's because I was like on the inside for so long, but I've never related more with that prisoner from the Shawshank Redemption. It's like that old prisoner who spends most of his life in jail and he gets released at the end of his sentence. Right, so he gets an apartment, he's getting ready to get into the workforce, to reintegrate into society, and then the first week he realizes like all he knows is prison, so he just hangs himself in his apartment. It's okay, don't worry. Don't worry, I'm not gonna kill myself. I have a couple good more years until I'm 40, so there's time. And if I did, there'll be signs. You can just go onto my Hinge profile, look on the wall, and it'll just say Sophie was here. I know, that was a little dark. That one's one for me. the same reaction as my ChatGPT. I told Leo that one day. We're on like a first name basis. Do you guys talk to your AI? Okay, anyways, I told Leo that in the car, and he was like really worried about me and gave me the number for a helpline. And I was really pissed off because we talk a lot. And I was like, you should know me better than this. Like, you should reach out if I'm only giving you clean material. Do you even listen to me anymore? Yeah, no, suicide's very unlikely if you know me. I'm much more likely to be 1, catfished, 2, probably murdered through online dating, or 3, probably the most probable is to just fall in love with my AI robot. Paint me like one of your French girls, Leo. Yeah, and the problem is I'm really naive, and I think I have a better judge of character than I do. Like, have you guys seen the documentary, The Tinder Swindler? Yeah, right, the guy that cons all these women into paying for his like luxurious lifestyle. Basically what women have been doing for centuries. Yeah, but the first time I heard about it, like these girls went bankrupt giving this guy money, and I was like, how dumb are these women? Like, give me a break. And then I watched the documentary, and I called my bank right away. Under no circumstance will you allow me to wire money to any man. Not even my dad. No man can be trusted. Lock it down. It's amazing I can have a bank account, to be honest. Yeah, so now I'm a paranoid mess. I'm watching a lot of true crime. Any true crime fans? Yeah! No, all the ladies, we love that shit. It's like, it printed in our DNA. You just, once you start, you can't stop. Like, true crime is like endless fries. You just like eat until you're sick to your stomach and you can't sleep at night. I know, it makes sense though, right? We like take notes, then we can warn each other. So we'll just watch, right, gather all this information, get together over brunch, and then just share tips on how not to get murdered. And that's why you can't get into a brunch restaurant anywhere in Vancouver. We just brunch hard so we don't die hard. I want to die softly. I'm trying to be in my feminine era right now. Yeah, I don't know. But, you know, like, as many warnings as you get, as much true crime as you watch, like, if a woman likes a guy enough, or he's good looking enough, like, you'll find a way to justify his behavior. I don't know how many times my dad has been like, that man is a walking red flag. And I'm like, is it red? It looks like more maroon. Let me grab my color swatch. But think about it, right? If you think about like Ted Bundy, America is like most best looking serial killer. Like, he raped and murdered over 30 women, and his girlfriend had no idea. And it's not like there wasn't any clues. Like, at one point the authorities were onto him, and they had like a sketch drawing of his face, his name, and the make and model of his car in the newspaper. So his girlfriend was like reading the paper one day and was like, Ted, oh my God, get in here. This guy just looks exactly like you. What are the odds? I don't know, women, right? I don't know, I'm like, you can't blame her, I'm probably the same or just as bad. One of my favorite movies is A Star is Born. Do you guys know that movie? Yeah, beautiful love story, but like such depressing crash. I was depressed for a week. But like the love story, the build-up is so good. So now I just watch it to the point where they get married, and then I stop. Yeah. And then I just pretend that he goes to rehab, and they live happily ever after. It's like what happens in real life, right? Yeah, like if I was dating Ted Bundy and someone tried to warn me about him, I'm like, I don't know, are you sure? I'm like, he's never tried to murder me. If anything, it probably means his love for me is greater than his desire to kill me. It's so romantic. I think he's the one. Yeah, but obviously I think we're probably all in agreement that I shouldn't be dating. What do you think? Yeah, I'm with you. But I have a plan. I love being in love, that's the problem. But so I think like what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna have a crush, right? I think someone to like obsess over, and like the less they know about my existence, the better. Then I just have like more longevity with it. It's like, I don't know about you, but when I have a crush, I'm just like in the zone. Killing it in the gym, killing it at work. I'll be reading a book, like not just listening, and not even just fairy porn, like personal growth. Yeah. Right? And then everything just bounces off you. You're like in this beautiful bubble of like optimism and delusion. Like I could go through the hardest part of my life, as long as I have a crush, I'd be fine. Like, you could throw me in the Holocaust, and I would just be so infatuated, I would have no idea where I am. I would just think I was like in like summer camp in Germany. Feel excited, I get to take the train with my friends. Get matching pajamas and bunk beds, it's awesome. Friendship tattoos, you know? We're almost there. Probably wouldn't be hungry, I'd be like giving away my rations, and my bunkmates would be like, "Are you hungry?" And I'm like, "A little bit." But I'm trying to like watch my figure. I really want to look good naked in case I run into my crush in one of those co-ed showers everybody keeps talking about. Fingers crossed, it'll be any day now. Anyway, that's my time. What do you got?
Give it up for Sophie Manfredi. Coming to the stage next, welcome Beth Snow.
Hello, my name is Beth Snow, and I think it's a really good name for me. Beth Snow. It's very short, just like I am. I'm only 5 feet tall, or as we say in the comedy world, a type 5. Beth Snow is also a name that no one ever messes up. No one mispronounces it, no one misspells it. I have what is known as Snow White privilege. Snow is also a good name for me because I am very white. I am so white and so short, I look like what would happen if Snow White had a baby with one of the dwarfs. I think if Snow White had a baby with one of the dwarfs, she would know which one was the dad. Single woman living with 7 dudes, definitely having orgies. And if I were the product of a Snow White and the 7 dwarf orgy, I would try to figure out which one was my father. I'm a comedian, so it can't be bashful. And despite being a comedian, I don't do drugs, so it's not dopey. I kind of hope it's Doc, because at least he has a good job. I wonder if wanting Doc to be my dad is why I got a PhD. Now, I know that saying I have a PhD sounds like a brag. It is not. I got a PhD because I couldn't get into dwarf medical school. Seriously though, getting a PhD is not hard. You just need to be very, very stubborn, willing to spend 4 to 8 years of your life and go like $100,000 into student debt to study something so narrow and specific that no one else has ever cared about it. Maybe my dad was dopey. Did anyone go to Bard on the Beach this summer? Picture festival, a few people. It's a very white person thing to do. It is so white that Bard on the Beach is actually located at 1695 White Avenue. You can look that up, it's true. Bard on the Beach is so white that when you enter the festival grounds, there is no security. That is some white privilege right there. When I was driving to Bard on the Beach, I saw a truck, and on the side of it it said, "Our ice is cooler." I just hope it's a refrigeration company and not New Vehicles for Immigration Canada. What else have I been up to? Oh, I started to volunteer for Urban Search and Rescue. But I don't rescue anybody. I'm training the search and rescue dogs. But I'm not a dog handler. I'm the body. They train search and rescue dogs. They have a big rubble pile, and it's like a collapsed building in an earthquake. I hide in the pile of rubble, and I wait for the dogs to find me. It's my job. And, sitting there among the chunks of concrete and rebar and frayed wires, you just have a lot of time to think, what is reality? What is the meaning of life? This would be a really terrible place to be if an actual earthquake hit. Speaking of rescues, I have 2 cats that are rescues, but it's not like I ran into the collapsed building to save them. I think we should call them what they actually are, used cats. It's not an animal shelter, it's a thrift store. I got my 2 cats, I found them on a site called Pet Finder. So this is where all the shelters advertise the adoptable pets, and they even have an app, and it is just like an online dating app. They have little profiles, you can scroll through them. Too old. Ugly. Another one holding up a fish? I love my cats. People love their animals, right? So has anybody been following this story about the ostrich farm? Yeah? So for anyone who hasn't, the ostrich farm was ordered to kill all their ostriches because there had been outbreak of avian flu. The farm has been fighting it, and just this morning they actually got a stay of execution from the Supreme Court of Canada. But I don't know. Avian flu could be the next pandemic. I think they're just burying their heads in the sand. I actually learned it's a myth that ostriches bury their heads in the sand when they are threatened. They actually fight, and they're super strong. An ostrich can kill a lion with a single kick. So I think they don't want to kill the ostriches because they're chicken. Sorry, that was a little foul of me. Dr. Oz actually is trying to save the ostriches. He's said they can ship the ostriches to go live on his ranch in Florida. So I guess Republicans don't hate all immigrants. Speaking of immigrants that Republicans don't hate, Elon Musk. He was in Bella Bella last month. That's a very small town in BC. They have only 1,500 people. Elon impregnated all of them. But that's not all Elon's been up to lately. He started yet another new company. He wants to compete with Microsoft, and he named it Macro Hard. So that is just the name of a company now. Like, I feel really bad for business reporters. We're gonna have to be on the news, like, turning to the stock market, Macro Hard is up. It's not clear what stimulated this explosive growth, but there are signs that we are seeing the beginning of a Macro Hard pump and dump. I like to make fun of Elon, but I have to admit I do like technology. I have a smart home device, the Alexa. I like it because I like to just yell something out and have something happen in the world. Like, Alexa, turn on the lights. Alexa, lock the door. Alexa, assassinate my enemies. Haven't figured out how to make that last one work, though. I think you have to put your enemies into your contact list and then tag them as an enemy. I think that's how that journalist got on that War Plans group chat. Speaking of assassins, I think I would be a terrible assassin because I am very indecisive. And there are just too many decisions to make. When to kill them, how to kill them, who to frame. Oh, it's too much. But I think my indecisiveness would make me an excellent double agent. Because how would they know where my allegiances lie when I can't even decide? Speaking of agents, I got one of those spam phone calls today. The CRA is sending agents to arrest you. It's such a dumb scam. The CRA, Canada Revenue Agency, that's a bunch of accountants. Like, who's afraid of an accountant? So my partner is an accountant. And he's a great guy, love him a lot, found him on a used human app. And we get along really well. But we do have a few differences. So, for example, he is an introvert. I'm an extrovert. He likes country music. I like good music. He's conservative. I care about other people. So yeah, we have some differences. One big difference we have actually is our age difference. I am 11 years older than him. Thank you. But sometimes I start to feel like I'm older. I start to notice that age difference. And one of the things that really makes me feel old is I realized that I have a favorite formulation of Metamucil. I don't just take Metamucil, I have a favorite Metamucil. It's the orange flavor, smooth texture. Oh my God, you've got to try it. It is so good, you guys. I have got all my friends on Metamucil. I can get some for you. I can get some for you. I have baggies in my purse. First one's free. Come and find me outside after the show. Just ask for the dope dwarf. That's my time.
Give it up for Beth Snow. So we're going to bring up the house lights so you can see your ballots to put your numbers down there. Whoa, there's a good crowd here tonight. So a reminder, you're going to vote for 3 people. Number 1 is your favorite, number 2 is your next favorite, and number 3 is your third favorite. That's how the ballots will be tallied, okay? So 1, 2, and 3. Once you have your ballots ready, put your ballot up in the air, and the ballot guys and girls will come around and get them, all right? Yeah, let's move it down this end. All right. First of all, I'd like to thank the judges over there, Aaron Jeffrey, Nancy Ho, and Christina Hackman. Christina Hackman is the last winner to grace the stage, so you can catch her on the stages around town. Thank you all very much for helping us out tonight. I had a million counters and people that helped out tonight with the cameraman, the camera people, the camera, like, there's cameras everywhere, so if you're with somebody else's husband, you're fucked. Just so you know. I meant to say that at the beginning, but whoops. And all my counters, which I'll put a list of them on there. We have a Facebook group called 2020 Funniest New Female. You can see all the information in there and the results and everything. But meanwhile, let's do it. And give a round of applause for everybody, right? So previously we have 2 first place winners from the first night, and we have 2 second place winners, 2 third place winners, and 2 fan favorites from the first night, and then again from the second night. So they all came onto this slate tonight, equal setting, right? It's all started all over again. They all did 10 minutes. Some of them, as I mentioned to you, are brand new. That's a big stretch, right? So, but they did a great job. So, in third place, funniest female is, I better read it. Maggie Conway! In second place, Jasbir Uppal! In first place, Rosie Grypma! And one more, the overall fan favorite, give it up for Jasbir Uppal! So I'll let you guys do some pictures, and then the winners would stay on the stage, but give it up for everybody that did a great job. And thank all of you for coming out and supporting live comedy, women's comedy, any comedy. Just put your butts in those seats. There's shows going on all weekend downstairs. Check them out. Do it.